We just learned about reluctance. We just learned that reluctance is how reluctant a material is to establish that magnetic flux. So I have a magnetic circuit. Magnetic circuit looks like this. It could be square, it could be not square. And then there's these coils wrapped around, and these coils have current running through them. And if these coils have current running through them, they are going to establish a magnetic force, Fm, inside there, which is going to be equal to that current times the number of coils of the that's being wrapped around. And that um, for that magnetic force, that um, uh, magnetomotive force that I just drew there is then going to, when it establishes those magnetic flux lines, it's going to establish a few lines, just a little bit, or or it's going to establish a lot of lines of flux, which are measured in Webers. It depends on how reluctant the material is to establishing that flux. So the magnetic motive force is directly dependent upon the number of flux lines is directly dependent upon Fm according to how reluctant that material is. Low reluctance means don't make a lot of flux lines. High reluctance means, yeah, really easy to establish flux in here because I'm like a ferromagnetic material. I'm like a solid iron, right? So this Rm is what we're learning right now. It's called reluctance. It's got this funky unit called a Henry -1 to Henry -1. But what is it really? Let's rearrange this equation and solve for Rm. Rm is actually then Fm over flux. And so Rm in units is going to be N times I, not N times I. It's not N times I. It's going to be, oops, in units. I'll just draw on top of it. I can't erase very well. I'm not very good at erasing. It's going to be number of flux lines. I'll just go N times I is the formula over flux, which in units is amps times the number of turns over Webers. Those are the units, amps turns over Webers. And that's important there because uh, because those are the units for RM. It's amps times turns over Webers. So I put that up here. It's amp turns over Webers. We've rearranged this equation. This is the equation. Rearranged it. I rearranged it in that form. And Fm is in amps or amps turns, and phi is in Webers, amps turns over Webers. So that's our those are our units. I like these. These are base SI units. An amp, a turn is made up, but I like it in there. It's pretty descriptive, divided by a Weber. A Weber is a count of number of flux lines. That's pretty descriptive. And then Henry came over, and this guy named Henry, I forgot his first name, but I have a book of all scientists, and each scientist has a page, and Henry is in it. And I should bring you that, and I should show you each of these scientists. So Henry came up after Gauss came up to replace Tesla when Tesla was replacing Weber. Now, this Henry guy came up and he said, "Oh, Webers." I want to call reluctance Henry. I want to call the inverse of reluctance Henry, actually. I want to call a Weber per amp turn a Henry. So he said, hey, if you have a Weber per amp turn, I want to call that Henry. Is that okay? All right, good. That's what we're going to do. So then reluctance is amp turns per Weber. So that's a 1 over a Henry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Weber kind of, got walked all over here and said, sure, start calling it a Henry. But I like calling it amp turns per Weber because It's helps us learn. So that's what reluctance is. And here's a note about those units of amp turns per Weber. Henry -1 is amp turns per Weber. Make sure that you get that straight. Write it down. Have a formula sheet as you're learning this, because this is probably our fifth variable with units that relate to one another.